Have you ever wondered what would happen if you could hear your body's truth before it's too late? What if your intuition could point to something that no test was showing yet? Something that could change the entire course of your life, or maybe even save it. For more than 25 years as a medical intuitive, I've seen moments where intuition didn't just help. It made the difference between suffering and relief, between crisis and safety, between fear and healing, between life and death. Today, I want to share with you 5 powerful stories where medical intuition truly saves lives. These aren't vague coincidences. These are real moments where intuition revealed what was hidden, and people got answers that they may never have found otherwise. By the end of this video, I believe that you'll see not only the power of intuition, but the power within your own body to speak, to guide, and to protect you. If you're new here, I'm Kim Seer. I'm a medical intuitive and master healer. My work is about listening deeply to what the body is saying beyond symptoms, beyond test results, beyond what the mind believes. What you'll hear today are 5 times where medical intuition revealed something life-changing. And while the details are personal to those people, the lessons are universal. For me, for you, and for anyone who's ever felt like there was more to their health story than what they were being told. So let's begin our first story. Our first story is about a woman with normal test results. Years ago, a woman came to me completely frustrated. She was in her early 40s, exhausted, and constantly bloated, and experiencing sharp abdominal pain that seemed to come and go at random. She'd had ultrasounds, blood tests, and even a CAT scan. Every single one came back normal. The doctor told her that it was probably stress, maybe beginning IBS, and then sent her home with nothing more than dietary advice and an antidepressant. But she knew that something wasn't right. Her intuition told her that this wasn't just stress. And that's when she came to see me. When I tuned into her body, I felt a sharp, dense pull low on the right side of her abdomen. I didn't know exactly what it was, but the feeling was insistent, like a flashing red light. I told her, there's something here that your body is drawing my attention to. It's small, it's being missed, but it is significant. I don't believe that this is just stress. I think that you need to get another opinion. And specifically, you need to have someone look closely at your appendix area. She looked at me shocked. My appendix? They told me that that was fine. Still, she trusted the guidance, and she went to a different doctor who reluctantly agreed to do another scan, this time with a different technician and slightly different imaging angles. They found what I had sensed, the very early stages of appendix cancer. It was small, so small that if they hadn't caught it, it could have spread silently for years before being discovered. The surgeon told her, "You are incredibly lucky. We caught this when we did, because at this stage, we can remove it completely and you will fully recover." Well, that was a decade ago. She's alive, healthy, and thriving. Now, why does this matter? Because this woman did everything right. She went to her doctors, She had the tests. She trusted the system. But the truth is, medicine isn't perfect, and tests don't always show what's there, especially in the early stages. Her body knew. Her intuition knew. And when she listened, it saved her life. This is the first red flag that medical intuition can reveal. Sometimes the truth exists before the evidence does. Let's get into our second story. This is a story about a child with growing pains. This second story is about a young boy. He was maybe 9 or 10, and his mother brought him to me. He'd been complaining of leg pains for months. His doctor told her that it was nothing serious, it was just growing pains. Boys at this age often get them. He'll grow out of it. But his mother couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. She told me, he's not just sore, he's limping. He wakes up crying at night. This isn't normal. And when I looked into his body, his right thigh lit up like a flare. It wasn't soft, diffuse ache of muscle strain. When I tuned into his body, his right thigh lit up like a flare. It wasn't soft and diffuse muscle ache or strain. It was concentrated, heavy, and deep inside the bone. I told his mother, this doesn't feel like growing pains. This feels like the body is sounding an alarm. Please, take him back to a specialist and ask for a bone scan specifically of this thigh. She listened, and within weeks, he was diagnosed with early-stage bone cancer. Because it was caught so soon, they were able to remove the tumor and treat him before it spread. Today, that little boy is a healthy teenager. He's playing soccer, running, and living the life that could have been cut short. Now, what this story shows us is how easily children's pain can be dismissed. How often that we hear, oh, it's just growing pains, or kids will bounce back. Sometimes, but that's not always true. Oftentimes, the body is waving a red flag. And here's the lesson. Intuition isn't about diagnosing. It's about directing attention. It points us where to look. It asks us not to dismiss what seems small. Our third story is about a man who just had heartburn. Now, this third story is one I'll never forget because it still gives me chills. A man came in his late 50s, and he came to me saying that he'd been having severe heartburn for months. His doctor had prescribed medication and just told him that it was acid reflux and sent him on his way. But he said to me, Kim, it feels like this is different. It's not just burning, it's like pressure, like something is sitting on my chest. Well, when I tuned into his body, I felt the overwhelming heaviness in his chest cavity. Not in the stomach where acid reflux would normally show up. The sensation radiated down his left arm, and I caught my breath. I told him, this does not feel like heartburn. This feels like your heart is under stress. Please, don't wait. Go see a cardiologist right away. He did, and within days, tests revealed that he had severe blockages in multiple arteries. The cardiologist told him, you were a walking heart attack, and you might not have made it another month. He underwent surgery, and the outcome was life changing. Here's the truth. Not everything is what it seems. Sometimes symptoms mimic each other. What feels like one thing can actually be another. Medical tests eventually caught it, but intuition caught it first. This is why medical intuition matters. It can prompt urgent action when waiting might cost everything. Let's get on to story number 4. This is a woman who had chronic migraines. Now let me share a story about a woman who'd suffered with migraines for years. She had come to me exhausting every other option. Neurologists, medications, diets, alternative therapies, nothing worked. When I tuned in, I kept seeing an image of pressure at the base of her skull, not the classic band of pain across the forehead or temples. I told her this doesn't feel like a standard migraine. This feels structural, like something's pressing where it shouldn't. Encouraged by that, she pushed for an MRI. What they found was a small but significant benign brain tumor pressing on the nerves at the base of her skull. It wasn't malignant, thankfully. It wasn't life-threatening at the moment, but left undiscovered, it would have grown to cause blindness, seizures, or worse. Surgery removed it, and for the first time in a decade, she was migraine-free. Her relief was more than physical. It was emotional. Imagine living with the pain every week, being told over and over again, it's just migraines. Learn to manage it. Her body knew better. It wasn't just anything. And by listening, she found her freedom. The 5th story is about a man with unexplained anxiety. Now, this 5th and final story is about a man who came to me saying, I don't know what's wrong. I just feel anxious all the time. My chest is tight, my hands shake, and the doctors say it's stress and they just want to put me on medication. But when I tuned into his body, the anxiety didn't feel rooted in his mind. It felt rooted in his bloodstream. The message that came was clear. This isn't just anxiety, it's chemical. Something in the blood is off. I encouraged him to get a full blood panel and specifically check his thyroid. Sure enough, his labs revealed severe hyperthyroidism, a condition where the thyroid is overactive and it floods the body with hormones. Left untreated, it could have led to heart failure. With treatment, his anxiety vanished. It wasn't a mental issue, it was a physical imbalance. This is such an important reminder that not everything that looks emotional is just in your head. Sometimes what feels like anxiety, depression, or mood swings is actually your body's chemistry asking for attention. So what do these 5 stories have in common? In each case, the body was speaking. The signs were there, but conventional systems either overlooked them, dismissed them, or misinterpreted them. Medical intuition doesn't replace medicine. It revealed where to look. It pointed to what needed urgent attention. And in doing so, it saved lives. Here's the truth. Your body is always talking to you. The real question is, are you listening? Sometimes intuition comes as a whisper, sometimes as a nudge, sometimes as just a deep knowingness that won't go away. That's your signal. That's the body's secret language. And if you take nothing else from today, take this. Never ignore that inner voice. It could be the one thing that changes everything. Because at the end of the day, medical intuition isn't just about extraordinary stories. It's about ordinary people learning to trust the extraordinary wisdom that is within themselves. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like, subscribe to our channel. It's so important that we pay attention to what our body has to say and know that it is always on your side and it is always trying to show you the truth. Until I get to speak with you again, much love.